One channel, different shows, everything entertaining. Make a Path presents Let's Talk. You know what, Deadheads? What would be really awesome is if they showed us some really truly bad cops like Gorman, McRapey, the lollipop cop, and it left a bad taste in our mouth. You like what I did there? For these people running the hospital, and we thought that they were really bad guys. What if they had Rick storm the hospital, believing truly, and us as well, that Dawn must be stopped, the bad guys must be taken out? What if Rick goes in there and kills them all? And the big realization is that these people were just messed up survivors, and there was a couple in the group that were bad. Rick went into somebody else's camp and he slaughtered them all, and they were just trying to protect themselves from this madman. And at the end of this mid-season finale, Rick did the same thing that the governor did in last year's mid-season finale by attacking the prison. I thought that would be pretty awesome. I just wanted to put that out there. However, don't put any stock into that. I am very sure that's not where they are going. Let's talk. Predictions for The Walking Dead, episode 508, Coda. I do have another part that's already out. If you didn't catch my prediction video for episode 508 that goes over the meaning of Coda, what it could relate to, and a character death prediction, go ahead and watch that. When you're done with this, before this, with this, it doesn't matter as long as you watch them both, you will get my complete prediction. Because I don't want to repeat myself in my video. Alright guys, we did get some information from the cop that said his name was Bob, that he has known Dawn for 8 years. He also gave up the information that Dawn did not know that the other cops wanted to take her out and put that, I believe it was the cop that was fighting Daryl. They wanted to put him in charge, right? That's what I got out of it. I only watched it once, but I thought that's what they were talking about. And the cop who said his name was Bob, the one who hit Sasha, he said no, she does not know. Now they can do two things from here. He knocks Sasha out, he gets away. He tells Dawn what the group is doing. They have hostages, they want Beth, they want Carol, and the hostages that they have are the cops who want to overthrow you anyway. There goes our leverage. Dawn's not going to bargain now. She's not going to do shit. You could kill those cops. Why do I want them? So I can sleep with one eye open? They want to take me out. But something else they could do is, in the comic book story, Martinez was actually the one to help Rick and them escape from Woodbury after the governor chopped off his hand. This way they could find out where the prison was. Now, Martinez pretended like he wanted to help Rick in the comic. He gets to the prison. Once he gets there, he sneaks out without anybody noticing, and Rick has to actually chase him down. And Rick ends up running him over with the SUV partially, and he leaves him alive in the field groaning, trying to say, oh wait, I was a good guy. I was just going back to the prison to get some good people who need to leave. I need to save our people from the governor. So we kind of ended in the comic book at that scene like, damn, Rick killed someone who's innocent who was just trying to help people. We would later learn in the novel that Martinez really was working for the governor, and he was actually going back to the governor to sell out Rick and the survivors at the prison. Part of me think that this is going to happen here. What if we open with 508 with Rick chasing down Bob? They're hauling ass, Rick catches up to him, let's say stabs him, shoots him, whatever. He falls to the ground, he's dying, bleeding out. Listen, I just saw an opportunity to run and save my own life, and I took it. I was not going back to give you guys up. I was just running to save my own ass. And Rick is kind of conflicted. Do I kind of believe him? Should I believe him? And Rick just shoots him. You know, fuck it. Or he leaves him laying there. We do see Rick in the trailer slicing a walker, which is kind of weird when he's running. Because why would you slice a walker unless you wanted to get an infection on your knife maybe? You can stab one of the cops, send him into the hospital to turn, but then you risk killing Beth and Carol. That's probably stretching it. But I think more than likely what's going to happen is either the cop gets away and tells Dawn, don't even bother saving these people were going to try to overthrow you anyhow, or Rick catches the guy in mid-run, because we did see Rick walking in the background when Sasha was talking to Bob, so Rick is in that vicinity. Rick catches him, kills him, and we see a darker side of Rick, who is willing to just kill someone first, ask questions later. Why I believe Rick will kill him on the run and he doesn't make it back to the hospital is because we see Rick saying, I am Rick Grimes, I want to make a deal, I have 2 of your people, and it seems like the cops are not aware of this. So I have a feeling that, I don't know what they do, but maybe they make a noise, they get the car to come to check it out. Rick is like, hey listen, I'm Rick Grimes, I have 2 of your people, and we see Daryl go like this. It looks like he's signaling Tyrese to bring over some of the cops so they can show him on the roof, which is pretty good because, you know why? You have the higher ground, which is more strategic advantage for a gunfight. So now you have 2 snipers on the roof. You also have your 2 hostages that you can either just throw off the roof if shit goes bad and you're trying to show these people you're serious. And you have 2 snipers, 2 cops, 2 bullets will put them both down immediately. So Rick is pretty good. He's pretty covered. I don't think those cops pose any immediate threats with him whatsoever. Noah is probably either on the roof. It makes more sense for him to be on the ground to kind of even it out. They could even take more prisoners. I don't see why they would not take these cops as prisoners. Listen, drop your guns right now or they're going to shoot. You got 3 seconds. 2, 1. I mean, the cops would be like, fuck it, done. And as far as with what happens inside the hospital, I am still I'm confused on that because they are building Beth up to be a strong character, so I don't think our survivors run into the hospital and save the day. I feel like Beth somehow, maybe they hear the attack happening from the outside, and Beth knows this is her chance to save Carol. And she is the reason why there's a battle inside the hospital while Rick and the group are outside the hospital. So let's say whatever she does, however she does it, she sacrifices her own life, because I do still believe that Beth dies, and she gets Carol to safety, she gets Carol out of there. I don't believe that Beth would stay back at the hospital. That just doesn't make sense why you would do that, you know? The hospital is just, it's barely hanging on. It doesn't even seem like a good place to stay. I would not want to be there. I would take the goodies they got and I would go. What I do think is going to happen without a doubt, however, I'm starting to believe that this is going to bleed into episode 9. We do see a preview where Father Gabriel goes to the school and he's trying to see if our group, Rick's group, is telling the truth about the termites. He goes there, he sees Bob's leg. He knows that they're telling the truth. He finds the Bible with Mary's name in it. He sees Bob's leg with the maggots on it. It was on a grill. They were cooking it. And the walkers that were banging on the glass of the school are starting to break out. Now, I'm predicting it's probably easy to make this prediction that they break out. He gets scared. He knows now that the Rick and the survivors are telling the truth. Carl's not lying. Michonne's not lying. They are good people. What Michonne says really does bring Gabriel around, I feel, because now he's being chased away from the school by the herd of walkers who bust through the door. He's scared, runs to the church. Guess who's following him? The walkers. You know, probably not far behind. He either pounds on the door, which would probably be pretty stupid, but I could see him doing this, or he tries to crawl back under the church, making it up at the last minute. That would be pretty neat to have walkers. I mean, I don't know how they would catch up to him so fast, but have walkers doing the army crawl under that church just to get him at the nick of time. Maybe they even come up through the floorboards that he was coming up through, and they got to barricade that room. Now they have walkers coming in through the church, and they have walkers on the outside of the church. What are Carl, Michonne, and Father Gabriel going to do? And baby Judith? They are screwed. I'm predicting that might be the mid-season finale cliffhanger. You know, that might be something that's going to keep us like, oh shit. And we do see Glenn and Maggie. It looks like they're surrounded with walkers, which doesn't make sense that they would let the walkers from the herd surround them. It seems like they would get out of there before all those walkers made their way to them. And why are they still at the damn herd? Maybe they do get on the road and they go back to the church and they pull up to the church, and that is when the walkers are surrounding them, you know? Which I still want Maggie to make her way to the hospital. I seem to have a mid-season finale and have Beth die and Maggie not there. It just seems like it's such a waste to purposely write her out of that scene. So they're either going to use her and Glenn in the fire truck to come back to the church that's now being swarmed with zombies, or they're going to bring her and the group to the hospital somehow. Right now I'm doubting they get there, even though I know some people said that there was spoiler pictures of the fire truck being used at the hospital. Right now I'm doubting it. I really am. I don't know how they would get there unless they just somehow cross paths, you know? And if that's the case, why didn't it happen in the last episode? Now, another thing I'm starting to feel is going to happen back to Rick and their group in the hospital group. I am starting to feel that there might be a big reveal that Dawn isn't the bad guy. Maybe the troops that she's leading, they are the bad ones. They are the ones who are probably going to maybe overthrow Dawn, put her out, or the fear of them overthrowing Dawn and putting her out of her misery is going to drive Dawn to become a cold-hearted killer. She's probably going to feel like a dog with her back against a wall and lash out. Again, I don't know how it's going to go down. I know ever since Rick said, "I'll take Dawn" in episode 7, I know a lot of us were like, Rick is going to kill Dawn. I'm having a feeling that it's not going to happen like that. We've been getting a Dawn and Beth thing going back and forth, so I feel like Beth might be the one to kill Dawn or to stop Dawn, but they're going to utilize Beth in there somehow. There's just some things we don't know about the hospital, about the inner working. Because if these people are really this bad, why are they saving old people? I mean, and I know it's like they let the strong die, but they save the weak so they control them. Why are they keeping the old man alive? And why would they cause such a ruckus to go and help him when he's coughing? What value does he have to their survival? I don't get it, unless there's something we don't know about. I don't think these people are as bad as we wanted them to be. Because I wanted them to be evil scientists. And they're not, which is fine. But now I want them to either be good and they get murdered, because they look bad, or just some of them are bad, and it leads all of them down a very dark path. And lastly, we did see a police car in the trailer driving very, very fast. There was only one occupant in the car, considering everyone else has a placement except for Noah. Noah could be driving. However, there was a spoiler photo of Rick Grimes driving a police car, so he could hop in that car and use it for something. Or he could just, drive it down from where they're at to the bottom of the parking garage, to meet the other cops. That's probably more likely what it's going to be. Yeah, that would be pretty neat if Rick took the car, whipped around, got the attention from the other cops, drove to where he wanted them to be, hopped out of the car, and when they came up, he's like, "Look, I'm Rick Grimes, I got your people." That makes sense. That might work. I like that. But again, like I said in my rating review video, I am a little confused because episode 7 it didn't have enough build-up to make me truly afraid about what's going to happen. It feels like a fumbling mess right now. Not in the writer's room. It feels like our group is going to deal with a fumbling mess. They already have one guy running away. Is Dawn a good person? She's just abusive? I don't know. Everything that Dawn has done screams she wants to save people. You know what I mean? They might let strong people die because, same thing with Terminus, strong people abused what they stood for. We don't know their past. What if they were helping people before and strong people tried to kill them? Everyone in this world is now living with the conditions in this world. They're being conditioned to survive in this world based on their interactions with other people, So maybe they're not just bad people. They have just met so many bad people that it rubbed off on them. So Rick and his group might just seem like just another bad group. So we have 2 groups of survivors right now who look like they're going to be either doing a hostage negotiation, trade-off, or just killing each other. And that's probably what it's going to boil down to. Alright guys, like I said, I did this one from the hip. I didn't take any notes. If I missed anything, I'm sure I did. Leave it in the comments down below. I'm done talking. It's your turn.
Subscribe now.